you're like a jack of all trades, which sometimes that can come off in a good way or and also in a bad way. Because if I think about this, you can build websites, you can do your own marketing, you're a graphic designer, you're cold calling, you know how to do acquisitions, you can do financial modeling, you're doing it all, right? Not many people if they were to hear this today, they'd be overwhelmed just hearing you. Like Jeremy's someone of one of none at this point, right? So if Jeremy, if you were advising someone today who were starting a venture similar to yours, whether it's home service or something else, and they didn't have all those skill sets, what are the first couple of steps that they would do?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's understated and underrated how easy it is to like outsource a lot of this stuff, right? And I do all of this, and I can do all of it, but I also, that earns me the right to go find people who are better at it than me, and I have very happily brought in very talented people who are radically better than me at most of these different disciplines, and they've elevated beyond my kind of base level skills. Me being able to do it myself is really only helpful for the 0 to 1 and for maybe qualifying what great looks like when I go hire people. But inevitably, the job of a founder, if you're successful, is that you're always operating at the edge of your competence, right? Like definitionally, if you're good at your job, you're going to have built a business that is bigger than one you've ever run before, presented with challenges you've never faced before, right? And it's just this constant, persistent exercise in solving progressively harder puzzles, the prize for which is a harder puzzle still, and like kicking down bigger and sturdier doors one after the other. So like, don't it's Everest. Like, don't view the exercise as one of like taking all those steps at once. The exercise is one of taking a single step followed by another, followed by another, and before you know it, you'll have traveled a great distance. So step one, bring in talented folks, heavily leverage Upwork and gig markets and your friends who are good at what they do, and have them help you. Step two, don't get intimidated by the sum totality of the work. Just pay attention to what's immediate and most kind of urgent and what you can do today, and the rest will come, right? Um, and like lastly, I think, yeah, I think it's also just this thing where, if you're not willing to bring other smart people on board, and if you're too self-contained, you're not going to go very far, right? Like I think this, I try to get away from this idea that I can do it all, because I definitively cannot, right? Like I can do some of these jobs well, and a large number of them poorly, and many of them not at all. So, while I might be a little more multidisciplinary than the average bear, I do think that like I absolutely uh, I rely on an incredible number of very talented people every day to do what we do.
That's huge advice. And Cabana is moving in a very fast direction. Obviously, 6 acquisitions have been done. You've raised a fair amount of money. You're moving at a pace that many people would dream to move at. Through anything, there's always hurdle, right? I'm sure at Lawn Love you had some hurdles. Cabana, there's probably some hurdles. Walk us through some of the big 800-pound gorillas that you're facing today.
Yeah, so I like to characterize what we're building as essentially three startups instead of one. And it really is like you're running three companies at once. So you're running a small pool cleaning business, right? You have all the attendant challenges kind of natural there too. Um, Personnel and HR issues, service quality issues, you know, spinning up bank accounts and flow of funds and collections issues. Like all the problems that every small business has are your problems. You're running this company, right? And hopefully working with smart field operators and GMs to run it, but those are ultimately your problems, right? So you're running a small business, or dozens of small businesses eventually. Two, you're running a private equity firm. With the whole like roll up model, you have to do all of the sourcing, the qualifying, the diligencing, build the entire machinery for finding great companies, understanding that they're good, getting convincing them to partner with you, and then consummating those deals. You have to worry about capital stack and how you actually fund these deals, and not over levering or putting yourself behind a gun, right? It's like a straight up wholly separate profession that you have to do very well. And if you do one of these jobs well and not the other, you fail, right? And then third, with our model, we're also like a venture style like SaaS company, in that we are working to build vertical software into the space. And some companies only do that, right? All you do is build vertical SaaS. You don't run a small local home services business, you don't run a private equity firm. You just spend all day building vertical SaaS. And we got to do all three of those things, and we got to do all three of them well. And with it, should we succeed, come enormous rewards and a durable, incredible operating advantage that's going to be tough for other people to touch. But it is an enormous effort, right? It's a big operational lift. It's a big kind of execution lift for sure. So that is definitely one of the biggest hurdles that we're running at. It's just the nature of the business as we've designed it, like is a challenging one.